Greetings, friends. It's Josh,
And I'm Ryan.
and Ryan. I'm excited about today.
You should be.
This is new and different for us.
This is very different.
We have someone new that we want to introduce you to. We are here with a friend of ours that we've met recently named Barry. Say hello, Barry.
Hello, Barry.
That's right. Right in the vein of our dead tired dad humor right there.
Perfect.
So, Barry, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and we'll roll into our episode here.
Sure. So my name is Barry Carenza. I have been with NintendoFuse.com for almost a decade, doing journalists and interviews and podcasts over there. But now, more importantly, I am with Premium Edition Games. I'm one of the founding members. And what we are a physical publishing company for the Nintendo Switch right now. And we take digital-only titles and we bring them out physically for everybody to enjoy because we're physical collectors. So we've been doing this now for about 2 years, and we just rolled out our 4th series direct as of yesterday, as the time of the recording. So we're here to talk about it.
That's awesome. So I don't know if you know this, Barry, but like just 2 or 3 weeks ago, we released an episode.
Oh, that's right.
Where I ranted and raved about the death of physical media and how terrible it is for games and for gaming, and really for artistic and for really artistic integrity in general when it comes to music and movies and video games. So what you're telling me about premium edition, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what you're telling me, like, that's just right up my alley. So that's awesome.
Yeah, we're the same way. We're big physical collectors. We're game collectors. We're game preservationists. And there's so many games out there, right? If you look at a release week, just take Nintendo, not even focusing on Sony or Microsoft, just a week in Nintendo. There's so many games coming out every week, and so many of them just get buried. They don't get any exposure, and we want to try and give them the attention they deserve. We want to get them back from being buried. And there's other companies that do similar things, but we wanted to differentiate ourselves because we felt that if we go slowly, we curate the titles we pick, we all have to love the titles, and then we're going to give them premium treatment. So that's one of the things that we like to do for the developers.
Nice. I love it. So I have some questions. I'm so fascinated and curious about that. So I have some questions, but first I have to ask, because our whole brand, if you will, is Dead Tired Dads and just being dads. So I have to ask, Barry, do you have any kids?
I do not currently have any kids. That is something that is definitely in the cards. We probably would have had kids at this point, but unfortunately, I'm trying to think now. It's been 5 years ago, or just a little over 5 years ago. My grandmother was diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer, and 6 months after that, my mother was diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer.
Wow.
And we lived with my mother and my grandmother, my wife and I, and I had to quit my job and take care of them full time as a full-time caregiver. And that lasted, my mom lasted 2 years. My grandmother lasted 3.5 years from that point. So we decided it was already rough dealing with that. My grandmother had dementia too, which added on to the, it's like we really couldn't give them the care. We had dogs as well, and then throw in kids. It wouldn't be fair. We said, no, this is already too much. So, kids are definitely in the cards, but we had to put real life priorities first.
Yeah. Sure. Well, and it goes back to our major thing. Like, we're both dads, and like that's part of like the concept is for dads, but really it's about gamers who don't have time to game. And it sounds like you were in that category for that period of time.
Yes.
Sure. So.
Yes. I was thankful for my wife when she came home on the weekend and let me have some game time. But we had the whole thing, the baby monitor just like a baby and sit it in the room, and they listened for the call, and I had to stop when I could game and I had to go take care of things and make meals every single, 3 lunches, 3 breakfasts, 3 dinners, Everyone wanted something different,
Yep.
just like kids. Except kids at least you can tell them you have to finish your food. It's hard to do that with your parents and your grandparents because they're like, I raised you, you know.
Yeah, you can't tell me what to do. Well, I definitely feel for you. So my wife's grandma just recently passed away dealing with dementia and Alzheimer's, and it's not fun. It's a
No,
rough thing to see. So I'm
very
with
much
you
so.
there.
No. So I'm not a dad, but like I said, premium edition is a full-time job on top of full-time jobs because that's something, we do on top of what we already do, on top of being family men and family women and the company. This is a passion project. We love this company. We love video games, and this is instead of game time, this is what we choose to do. Get physical versions for these developers because that's what we just love.
Yeah. So you sent me the link to your direct, and I watched it last night. And the whole time I was watching it, I had the same question over and over. How do they do that? So the first thing I'm asking is, from like a technology standpoint, is there a way you could go into the process of how do you take digital only titles and then turn them physical? And the licensing and all the agreements that are, I don't even know how to ask the question that I want to know the answer to.
Yeah.
So yes, it is a very big process. It starts with either us contacting a developer or a developer contacting us. Every game is different. And sometimes even when you contact a developer and the developer's like, yes, you have to go through the digital publisher. And sometimes the digital publisher says yes, sometimes the digital publisher says no. Once you get over that hurdle and you both agree, there's obviously a contract. So we sign a contract with all of the games. And once that contract is signed, we have to submit for the ESRB rating because we're US based. And once that's approved, then the almighty lot check happens. So what we do is we get put on as the physical publishers for each individual game, and we submit that ROM to Nintendo. We say, this is the game we want to put. And Nintendo will pretty much go over it with like a fine-tooth comb. They will find the weirdest stuff to say, no, this needs to be fixed. But once it's approved and they say this is good for physical production, then we have to submit all the art because Nintendo has to prove everything. Yeah. So the art, all the cover, the retail cover, the inlay, that has to get approved. The manuals, we do manuals with all of our games, that has to get approved. The challenge card that's in all of ours has to get approved. The slip cover that we put all our games come in the slip cover, that gets approved. So all that, and that's just our standard premiums. For the retro box has to get approved. Any additional items that are in that box get approved. Everything's across the board. Once it's all approved, then we can move into manufacturing, production, and all that stuff. And Nintendo has to print the Switch games, so they'll process that order and print them, and then we gather them all up and at our facility. They all come from different places, and we assemble them, and lo and behold, we start shipping them out.
There you go.
So I don't know if you can see behind us here and people at home, we're an audio only podcast, so you don't get to see it. But I am quite the retro gamer myself. So you mentioned your retro package. Tell us a little bit about your retro stuff. Because
you're interested.
Yeah.
All of our titles, we, and some people do like a collector's edition, a limited edition, whatever special edition, a master edition. We all of our titles have the standard premiums, and then we have our retro edition. And the retro editions, they come in a Super Nintendo or N64 size box. It's the same size box, whatever joggles your mind. And it can be done horizontally or vertical. So it could look like the NES, it could look like SNES, N64, whatever the developer wants. Because all the art assets, we work with developers. The developers get, say in everything. They get to make the game, their dream game if they want to, or they could do absolutely nothing if they choose to. It's really up to them. So inside that box, we obviously put the Switch game, and then whatever else fits. So sometimes it's a soundtrack. And then each of our releases is something different. Super Blood Hockey had a comic. Pigeon Dev had a steelbook, Robot had a steelbook, Demon's Tier had oversized character cards, Cathedral had a hand-drawn game guide in the SNES manual sized, Phoenotopia Awakening had a keychain, and Mighty Fight Federation of Trading Cards, just for example. And those are obviously just the series 1 to 3 stuff, and that's what we do as our retro. For those that can't see, like I'm showing on screen one of our retros now. We're very, very big fans of that retro old school style of games, and we like to show it off. We like to lean on that because it's really something that is important to us. We grew up with that era, so for us, that's it. That's what we want to harken back to, and we want to give that the nostalgia feel of getting a brand new game. That's why we have manuals. All of our games have full color 20 to 30 page instruction manuals, and we do that for a reason, because we want to make sure that everybody gets what they want, something cool.
Yeah. I'm sitting next to Josh and I can just see him geeking out right now. So like, I'm actually kind of curious to see what he orders first. It's not a matter of if, but what he's going to order and when.
Yeah, no, the question right now in my head is, or my next question was going to be about pricing, but we'll get to that, I'm sure.
Josh forgot he was doing a show. He just wants to go buy stuff now.
I can't say I necessarily blame him on that. I mean, I like to buy our stuff too. It's and that's one of the things, because we're all collectors, right? So when we started this company, we said to ourselves, what would we want in a video game? What would we want in an edition? So we looked at it and we said, hey, let's do only what we would want to put on our own shelves. And that's what we did.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's really cool to be able to do that, to have the ability to sit back and go, what's, to find something that you love and that you're passionate about, and to figure out a way to make a living off of it. And I think that's really cool that you all have done that to the extent that you have, to just be able to go, yeah, we're gonna work this out and figure out, how to work with Nintendo, which is notoriously difficult.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thankfully they gave us the go ahead and the green light to be a publisher. So,
that's awesome.
we're really, really honored to have that. But one of the things that also differentiates us is a challenge card, which is in every single game, and it's something that. Yeah, so that harkens back to the old Activision days and the Atari, when they used to do, hey, let's do these high score challenges, and should you submit it and prove it, they mailed you a physical patch. They said, here you go. That idea disappeared. And we said, well, that is such a good idea. Why is no one doing that? So we decided to do it. So we tasked each of our developers with a challenge. They say, give us a challenge for what you want to task all the gamers to do. And we put that on the challenge card. So one side of the challenge card is beautiful art, and on the other side is the developer challenge. And should you complete that challenge, whatever it is, post a picture on social media with the card and the game in screen, showing that you did purchase, opened it up, and post on social media, tag us, email us with the proof, with the link, with your order number and your address and everything. And should you complete the challenge, we will mail you for free a physical patch per game to prove that you have completed the challenge, for you to wear, for you to put in your game case to complete it. And our idea is, so we're collectors. We understand there's so little time. You understand there's so little time. How many of us buy a game, we get it sealed, and we just don't have time to open it, and it just sits there sealed? Yep. And by the time you want to get to it, you've got like 500 games in your backlog that you also wanted to play. We don't want these games to sit on your shelf sealed. We love these games. We put these games out because we love them. Therefore, we want you to open them. We want you to enjoy them. And that's our reward to you, is saying, hey, do this. We're going to give you this challenge patch. And each game gets its own challenge patch. So each game that you do, you can get one per game. On top of that, we really want to show off our packaging, because we're really proud of all the packaging we do. We don't do,
based on what you showed me a second ago.
I mean, we don't do simple stuff. We go above and beyond. We do like matte finish, we do foil, we do the whole 9 yards. And so we do an unboxing patch too. So you get your game, you got to open it for the challenge patch. Anyways, post a video of you unboxing it. You can be as script as one, or you could just, if you're nervous, you could just post a video of unboxing, whatever you want to do. And should you do that, we will send you an unboxing patch. So what that is, each series gets its own patch.
Cool.
Again, it's a physical patch. It's just our way of saying thank you. And again, you can put that in the game case. You could put that, on a vest or on a jacket or whatever you want to do, and then show it off. And we've had people come to conventions and wearing patches and proving it, and it becomes like a community thing when a new game goes out, because everyone's rushing to do the patch and showing it off and tagging the developers, and the developers are seeing people enjoy their games. It's really something special, and we're honored to be able to do that.
Well, it's kind of like an achievement, like a physical achievement, rather than getting it just like a digital thing that pops up on your screen, like yes, turtle power.
Each one has a little name too.
That's
These are
awesome.
different games. Everyone gets their own.
Yeah,
just and that's what we love doing. It's something fun. It's something special.
It's such a creative idea, and
Mhm.
the fact that you guys came up with that, like physical achievement badges, I think that's brilliant.
Yeah, it is, and that's why I wanted to ask about it, because like I said, I was watching the direct last night, and I heard you mention a challenge card. And I was like, what's a challenge card? I have to know more. So that's really cool.
Yeah, it's again, it's an idea we borrowed from Activision from the 80s, but nobody's used it, and we really expected when we launched Series 1 and we did it, and people started posting like, oh, someone's going to copy this idea, like someone's going to start doing this too, and no one has. And you know what? That's cool. Leave it for us, because we're going to keep doing it, and every single game gets a patch, and the developers love that idea.
So how do you all kind of figure out what games that you're gonna do, give the premium edition treatment to?
That just depends on what we love. So we'll if we see a game trailer that comes out, we love it, we'll reach out. If a developer comes to us, we just have to play it. I mean, if we play the game and we say, you know what, this game is amazing, we'll get to contract negotiations for sure. That doesn't mean that everything's gonna happen. Stars do have to align, and there's been games we've been interested in that we weren't able to do, unfortunately, and that's just par for the course. But we're absolutely we're always looking for great games, and it's something we know, and other people know, is that not every game is for everybody. So, some people might say, oh, this game doesn't appeal to me, but this one does. Maybe every game appeals to you, maybe none of them do, and that's okay. One of my favorite things that transpired since working with Premium was for our very first release, which is Super Blood Hockey. I mean, not many companies will go out there with a hockey game as your very first game, and not many people even realize the game is an RPG, which is even better. So we put it out, and people bought it because we were the first, it's the first release. Collectors are like, I'm just going to get this. And then they started seeing people with the challenge patches, and they said, oh, let me open it. Let me do the challenge patch. And they would email, and they would say, here's my challenge submission. I want you to know I had no interest in playing this game, but I wanted to try for the challenge patch. And now I can't stop playing this game because this game is amazing, and it's become one of my new favorite games. And I want to thank you for putting this out. And as a gamer, just reading that is like, that's awesome, because you wouldn't have never given this game a chance. I admit I would have never given this game a chance had I not played it to put it out. Because I love hockey, but I'm an RPG guy. Like, oh, hockey, I didn't even know it was an RPG. And then I started playing. I'm like, this is fantastic. Like, oh my God, I never would have played this.
See, now I'm fat. I don't even like RPGs or hockey, and I'm just absolutely fascinated. I'm from Alabama. What do you want from me?
Both.
I don't have I have no experience with hockey. It doesn't snow in Alabama.
So I didn't expect to ask this question at all, but Barry, who's your favorite hockey team?
Oh, well, I'm from Jersey, so the Jersey Devils, of course.
Gotta be the Devils, yeah.
Gotta be the Devils.
So I'm originally from Indianapolis, and I actually grew up playing ice hockey through middle school.
Oh, nice.
And we didn't have any local teams. And so when I was a kid, I didn't want to be a bandwagoner. So I didn't want to jump on the Red Wings or the Blackhawks. So the next closest team for me was the St. Louis Blues. And when I was a kid, they were
Oh,
terrible, so I didn't have to worry about being a bandwagoner. So I'm a Blues fan.
you stole Brodeur from us for a very short time.
Yep, right.
Fighting words. Yeah. Had to be the Blues. At least it wasn't the Rangers. You're okay.
Yeah, there you go. Boo.
So usually we get on football topics, and
That's true.
Matt's the one who feels left out. Like right now, I'm just like, I don't even know. I had a question, now it's gone. See, I gotta quit talking.
Well, I have a question, and maybe Barry can't answer. I don't want him to get himself in trouble.
Okay.
But when you first started talking, you said sometimes the games will get rejected for the weirdest reasons. Can you share like an example of something weird? And if not, like, don't get yourself in trouble. But I'm curious.
I mean, sometimes, you know, it's just a lot of red tape that goes on. You know, sometimes it could just, the game could just be great, but negotiations fall flat. Things like that happen. It just happens in all industry. There's a lot of behind the scenes stuff, and you know, it's just a matter of timing too. Sometimes, you know, because we go slowly. For example, we do 2 games, maybe 3 a series every couple months. We don't want to flood the market. We want to let people enjoy, and we don't want the developers to be like, thanks for the game. Oh yeah, now we're doing this, guys, too. We want to really give the developers the attention they deserve and all that. So sometimes there's games that come to us and say, hey, we want you to release it by next month, and we're like, we can't. Like, we can't do that. You know, we put you into a series, but we can't do it for next month.
Right.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, but we're a small company. We got to stick with our, you know, our guns and what we love, and that's just how we're gonna roll.
Yeah, absolutely. So I did mention pricing earlier, and I said we'd come back to it. So like, tell us a little bit about your pricing and how that works, and what we like if we were looking at buying a physical copy. Like, well, what are we looking at?
Sure. So I'll go into Series 4 because we just announced Series 4 last night in our direct. And one of the ways we do it is we do a comedic direct, cartoons. We have fun with it. We just try and play around. We try not to be as serious as, you know, some companies, but we also want to convey the message just how much we love the games. So our Series 4 consists of 2 titles. The first one is a game called Wonderling DX, and that comes. It's a puzzle platformer. Think like Super Meat Boy Forever with the auto run and the challenging levels, but the one more try aspect of it with a ton of hidden items and collectibles and cosmetics. And you pretty much play the role of a Goomba, pretty much the weakest of all the underlings, and you've got to stop the hero. You are the bad guy. And it is so much fun, and it's so much humor, and it's just a lot to the game. So right now in the game, it's $50 for the standard premium, and that gets you the full game on cart. Everything's there, and that's one of our big things. We want the games completely preserved on cart. So you're getting the base Wonderling with all the DX upgrades. You're getting the full color manual, like I said, 20 to 30 pages. It's not fully written yet, so I can't tell you amount. You're getting the challenge card. The artwork, we use everything as a canvas, so it has inlay. All our games have inlay art too, and you won't see repeated artwork. Everything is a unique piece of art, so you're going to get that. You're going to get our pretty much the slipcover, which is, if you can hear that on the mic, it is a hard cardboard matted foil slipcover with beautiful art. So you're going to get that. All that comes with $50. And then we have a retro edition, which is $70, and that gives you everything there, the entire thing. On top of that, you get the CD soundtrack, you get an enamel pin, and you get a vinyl sticker set, which is like the Fatheads. And for Wonderling, the inlay art is actually like a blank canvas, and you can use the stickers to make your own customizable artwork and then put it as the front art. So you could really make your own complete, however you want, your own custom, unique artwork. And all that, of course, comes in our retro box. There's only going to be 500 available on the site. And again, that is $70. So it's 50 and 70. So it's a $20 difference to get that extra stuff.
Gotcha.
And then our second game that we have is a game called Rain on Your Parade. And Rain on Your Parade is a game like if you know what Katamari Damacy is, you will absolutely love Katamari Damacy, or you love Random Parade, because this is a crazy antic game where you play a cloud and you have to do all these different puzzles per level, and you literally rain on everybody. You disrupt everything. You just wreak havoc on your environments, and you get more than just rain. You get like lightning and wind, and you get all these different environmental puzzles, and you get levels based on like Metal Gear Solid. There's a level where you have to be a sneaking cloud, and there's a Zelda level, and like all this other stuff. It's so cool. And one thing we did, again, this game has DLC. So the DLC, all the added stuff, there's like mini golf in the DLC, a bunch of other stuff. That's all included on the cart. So again, you get the complete game and the DLC. Again, the same. You get the manual, you get the challenge card, you get the inlay art, you get the slipcover sleeve, you get all, and that is $50. And then we have the retro edition on that one, and that one comes with different stuff because it's up to what the developer wants. So that one gets a vinyl create your own cloud kit, so you can make your own little cloud with different stickers you want to put on. One of them is Cloud Hair from Final Fantasy VII, because you got to have that, of course.
Yes.
You get an enamel Angry Sun pin from the game. You get a thick custom inked like cloud wooden coaster collage. It's thick wood. All the ink is in there. It looks fantastic. And again, that's all in the retro box, and that is $70.
That sounds amazing.
Well, we try and have fun, and we always want the developers to have what they want. And that's why each of them are different, because some developers were like, I don't know what I want. And then we come up with ideas. And some of them, like Phoenotopia Awakenings, like, I want an enamel pin. Like, I really want a chibi enamel pin. That's what I've always wanted. Okay, it fits in the box. Let's do it. So it's really, the games are built not only for the gamers, but for the developers to have their dream game.
Now, do you guys have someone in-house who does the artwork, or like do you outsource art, or how does that work?
So art is case by case. So we have different artists in-house, and then we also have artists outside that do work for us. We have like Paul E. Niemeyer, who did like the Mortal Kombat logo and Pac-Man and a bunch of arcade stuff. He did a lot of our slipcover art. Some developers, again, Phoenotopia, had their own team of artists and said, we want to do the art. We want it to be in-house. Okay. That way they control the message. Absolutely. Sometimes we'll just find artists, or we know artists offhand that say, hey, you know what? You can do something that will capture the essence of this game. Let's do it, And we're not shoehorned into any particular artist. We just want the art to radiate the game itself and really make you feel like, oh, this belongs with this game.
That's really cool. So one thing that I wanted to make sure we do before we finish, because we're running towards our time limit, but I really enjoyed the direct last night. And so I wanted to make sure you plugged that and told our listeners where they can see those, because I thought it was really cool, and it'll give them the details on games and what you're releasing and what they can buy.
Sure. So you can see the direct on our YouTube channel. You go to YouTube Premium Edition Games. You could also see it from premiumeditiongames.com or social medias. You can find links to it all over. But that wasn't even all that we showed off at the direct, which is something that I really want to touch on quickly. In addition to our Series 2 games, one of the things we do is we partner two of our team members, Josh and Sheena. They run a charity called Gamers for Kids. And what Gamers for Kids does is they will go to group homes and bring TVs, video game consoles, set it up for the kids, and really build the next level and the next generation of gamers. And just they're going, cross country. They're doing their best and they're growing. So we have a partnership with them where our games get special variant covers, and those ones will cost a little bit extra, but 20% of all proceeds will go to the Gamers for Kids charity. So you get a special exclusive cover, and you're helping a charity. So that's something we really wanted to touch on. And we did show off our Series 3 covers during that direct. Another thing we showed off, which is getting quite a bit of buzz, is our Classic series, which is coming this summer. So Series 4 starts in this month, May 10th it starts, and then pre-orders go till June 10th. So it's open pre-order. The retro editions are 500 limited, but if you want the standard premiums, you have a month. But the Classic series is going to be in the summer, sometime in the summer. We haven't set a date. And what that is 10 aftermarket NES titles. So if you like retro stuff, if you like the NES, it's 10 aftermarket NES titles all put onto one Switch cart that you can play in your Nintendo Switch. And these titles are, again, since it's all on cart, you're getting the complete game, which is fantastic because these are people who love the NES so much that they develop games for it now, years later. And now they get their games officially on Nintendo as opposed to after. And the games are, we got Orbodi's Binding Tale and Nessie the Robot, Space Raft, Ninja 1 and 2, Kubo 3, Assimilate, Jester, Era the Kraut Maiden, Doodle World, and Yaya BB's 2. So all those are on that cart. It's a physical collection and it's going to be wonderful. And we also teased our first game for Series 5, which is coming later in the year, and that is Raji, an Ancient Epic, the Enhanced Edition, which is just a game that I absolutely love. We all love in the team, and we're so honored and excited that we get to bring that one out physically as well later.
That all sounds really awesome. Now, you were talking about the games for kids, and that reminded me of something. I was actually had a situation a couple weeks ago where I ended up at the hospital with my son. Due to some stomach bug he was throwing up. Anyway, beside the point. In the hospital, the hospital had an Xbox One that was just on the wall for kids to play in the unit that we were in, by a company called Fully Loaded. And like I just, it sounded very similar to what you were talking about, where they just provide stuff, and so stuff like that I think is just so cool. And that just reminded me of that. The same,
you know what, when you're in a situation, a hospital, it obviously sucks, group home, it sucks. You really need joy, and the idea is we want to be able to contribute joy to the future generations' lives. And developers are really happy about it because their games are helping that. And the response so far has been exceedingly positive from our customers and supporters, and they're really happy to help, support a charity. And we're honored to be able to do that.
So you can add to your collection and help a good cause.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's super cool. Yeah. I guess I need to start saving some money. I don't know. Well, Barry, did you have anything else that we didn't get to in our conversation today that you wanted to make sure that you squeezed in before we go?
I just want to say thank you everybody for listening, and hopefully you're still here. We at Premium, we're a team built from the community. And we're all gamers, we're all collectors. We're doing this for the love of the video games, and we love the games we put out. We support them. We love the developers we work with. It's truly an honor, and we appreciate everybody that has supported us from day one until right now. If you're just discovering us, welcome to our community. So premiumeditiongames.com is where you could purchase the game. So, we do have distribution partners worldwide, and we do ship worldwide on our webpage. We've actually just lowered the shipping to make it more affordable for everybody. We do have active Discord, social media. Please feel free to join and be a part of this community. At Premium Edition 1 is our Twitter. I think Premium Edition everywhere else as well. And then if you want to follow me, I'm at Twitter at Hawk Hellfire. If you want to talk video games, I'm always up for that.
So actually, I should throw this in. It's kind of a funny way of how we got connected and how Barry ended up on the show. So
sure.
I was just, how Twitter will use their wonderful algorithms to suggest things for you. So I'm just mindlessly scrolling Twitter, and I see this tweet, and it says, it's asking for recommendations for video game podcasts. And if you've ever listened to this show before, I am absolutely not above shamelessly plugging our own podcast. Well, that person that was asking was Barry. And so I in the comments, I linked our show, and I was like, in my totally unbiased opinion, this is a great podcast. to listen to you. So then we started messaging back and forth, and that's how we ended up on with very.
You know what? Truthfully, I've done the exact same thing for Nintendo Fuse, and I'm also on the Premium Playcast. We have our own podcast, and I've done the exact same thing. Shameless plug, sure, go for it. No qualms about it. And I love the way you did it. You just delivered. You're like, yeah, I'm shameless. Boom, I don't care. And I'm like, all right, we got to talk.
Yeah, I mean, I just figured I might as well. Go for it.
Well, I think that about wraps us up on this episode of the Dead Tired Dads podcast. I want to thank Barry once again for being with us and talking with us about Premium Edition, because this is something new to me that I was unaware of, and I'm super excited about it now. And so if you know the podcast, you know what to do all the things like follow, share, please subscribe, because that makes me happy when I see those numbers tick up. I don't know why. Actually, I do. It's a reward thing to my brain. But anyway.
So normally I repeat you and I say do all the things, which I'm still saying, but I'm going to say it for Barry also. Yeah. Do all the things for Barry and Premium Games. Get Premium Edition games. Go check them out. Follow them up. Do all the things.
Do all
the things for Dead Tired Dads and for Premium Edition games.
All right. Well, thanks so much for listening, guys. We will catch you next time on the next episode of the Dead Tired Dads podcast. Bye.